I want to show you how to take this plain spot right here and turn it into a nice clean looking mulch bed in just a few simple steps. Man, that looks so much better. So this spot on the side of my house right here, it's got these ugly electrical boxes. And then right here in the cracks and crannies, it's just hard for me to weed eat it all. In between these, I have a hard time weed eating this. Same thing over here with these wires. And I just don't like the way it looks. So I'm gonna take this section right here, make a little mulch bed with deep natural edges, and I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. That didn't work. So the first step here is to call 811, mark your utilities. It's the law. So I've got my utilities marked here. If you can see that, that is where my AT&T runs. That's really the only thing here that I need to worry about. So once you have your utilities marked, it is time to get started on our mulch bed. So some things you're going to need a half moon edger. This is what I like to use. It makes it so much easier to get a nice edge. And then you're going to need some sort of shovel. You can use a flat shovel. And then you're going to need something to mark your mulch bed. Some people like to use paint, some people use string. Those will work great. If that works for you, do it. I like to use a hose so I can lay out and easily fix it. Because once you paint it, it is on there. So I like to flop the hose out here and get it shaped the way I want to.
Right here?
Yep, but pull it out a little bit. Pull it out.
What's the back?
So this is right there. This is how far out I want the mulch bed to come. Okay? Take that and put it on the corner. Hold it right there, okay? Okay. Put it right. Does that look good to you? So I'm doing a little semicircle here. You can do this same method even if you're doing a big mulch bed, but for this small section, what I did, measured out the distance, found the halfway point so that I could mark where I want the furthest point this way. Then we just laid our hose out in the shape that we want, and that's all there really is to it. So we're going to start with the half moon edger. We're going to start cutting our edge in. Alright, so the next step here is actually optional. If you don't want to do this, skip to the next step, but I do not like to waste my good grass here, so I'm going to take the Pro Plugger that you see here. I'm going to pull out as many plugs as I can, that I can use them in a couple spots here in my yard, and then the rest I'm going to give to my neighbor. That is it. Let's pull some plugs. The next step here is to come back actually on the flower bed side or the mulch bed side of the edge, and we're going to just cut a V shape. We're going to cut it at an angle just like you see here. That's what's going to allow the mulch to fall down into that groove, and it's just going to be way cleaner, way smoother, way easier to maintain, and we'll talk about that later. Nice and deep, just how I like it. Once we've got that groove notched out, kind of like a V shape or more like a check mark, like a straight up and down check mark like that, I'm going back through with the half moon edger and I'm just perfectly defining that edge, making sure it is straight up and down, nice and clean, and then it's time to get the grass out of here. This is the most labor intensive part. I'm going to be honest with you, be prepared for this, but you're just skimming the top layer of the grass off, taking more off towards the front of the bed, less off towards the back so that it slopes up. And then I'm actually taking the dirt that we saved from the front groove, putting it on the back, the very back of the mulch bed, so that it slopes up and mounds up, because I want the back to be taller than the grass. That's what's going to make it pop. That's what's going to make people from the sidewalk or the road be able to see what you actually put in your bed better. It just looks way better in my opinion. So crispy. I love this. I love the natural look, the natural edge like this. There is nothing better. Once we have our bed shaped and smooth the way we want it, 4-inch groove in the front, and trust me, 4 inches is a lot. At least that's what I've been told. And then it slopes and mounds up towards the back. It's time to do some planting and some mulching. And bam, look at that. It looks so much better in my opinion. I am really happy with how this turned out. It's very simple, very clean, and you cannot beat those nice tight edges. I mean, look at that edge. That is awesome. So if you see here, the mulch does not come all the way up here. The mulch falls down into the corner, and there is a big gap here. Now what that's going to do, that is going to help prevent roots from grass that spreads like Kentucky bluegrass or Bermuda grass. It's going to help weeds from spreading in here. Once the roots come out here, they get exposed, they dry out, they die, but it does not kill your grass, and it just keeps this so clean and so easy to maintain. Speaking of maintaining, watch this video here if you want to know how I maintain this throughout the year to keep it looking nice and clean and crispy. That is all we've got. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want more tips, more tricks about this kind of stuff, about your lawn. We'll see you next time. For those of you who will want to know, right in the front here we have white begonias. That's what these flowers are. We've got over here cat's pajamas. I knew that obviously. And then back here, this is actually feather reed grass. And so I decided to go with these because they will get tall. They will not flop over and be flaccid. They will stand erect. Never thought I would actually be able to use erect in a real sentence. That's awesome. But they will stand erect, stand tall, they will fill out, and then from the road or the sidewalk, which is what I want, they will hopefully block this a little bit. Not completely to where somebody can't get to it to work on it, but block the sight, block the view, and that is what I want.